All right, as promised, when we are shooting details, what you really want to take into consideration is what kind of context are you trying to give to your details or to your objects in order for it to enhance it. Right now we've got two clocks, one reflecting and one being real, and I thought it's a good idea to, for example, shoot a watch. Now, if I'm just playing with that one, if I were to shoot for a real client, I would have brought a sponge just to clean that glass, but we can also do it in Photoshop. If you don't have the opportunity to clean a glass, you can do it in Photoshop after. And I always love to integrate elements into real contextual moments. So either you want to shoot just the object or you want to shoot it in your hand and use those clocks in the background, it's good. Now in terms of settings, if I shoot at 1.8, the problem is, and I don't know if you guys can see properly, but the problem is I'm going to end up with something very, very shallow. So the context of the clock in the background is not going to be very prominent. It's going to be a little bit confusing. You're not too sure what you're looking at. It looks good with the bokeh, let's all be honest with that. That's the cool part. You see, it looks kind of nice. There we go. But in that case, maybe it's going to be good to increase our aperture maybe to around f4.5 to give a little bit of more context. Now, as you can see in the background, the clock, the how do you call that? The part of the clock starts showing up. And now if I go to 6.3, we have even more context. So that's something, boom, something you definitely want to look into. And that reflection over there, you can get different shots, and if you can try somehow to have it link, then that's cool. It's almost like time is spilling out right now. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's kind of what I have in my mind. And I think that's the fun part, is how you interpret or how you see the shot you're taking. Right now I'm like, time just spilled out and boom, so I'm a little bit underexposed. There we go. And 6.3, I'm gonna take one more that's very shallow just to see if I can play with composites later if I want to. It's good to have options. Whenever you're shooting something, you always want to have options. So 1.8, we're in focus, bam. So we've got different shots, as you can see. We've got with more context, without the context, and that's where it's always better when you're on location, when you're shooting for a client or whatever you're shooting for, always go with options, okay? Especially if you're not gonna come back, if you're not gonna be able to reshoot it, shoot for different options, try different things, and then you can review with your client or you can review on your own which one actually works better in that situation. So hope that inspired a little bit. You see, you just find something, you just observe what's around you, and then that really makes a big difference in how you can integrate your detail shots into a bigger, how do you call that, into a bigger context, and really give a different feeling. You know, if you're just shooting on a plain white background, it's kind of boring, let's be honest.